Hello everyone, I'll begin with the project overview and timeline. For this project, our scenario is to plan a 7-day, 6-night vacation to Bali, Indonesia. For a group of 4 girls, the challenge is to look at different travel options, compare them, and then decide which one offers the best balance between budget, comfort, and experience. The purpose of this project is to practice real-life financial decision-making. At the same time, it helps us build critical thinking, teamwork, and communication skills because planning a trip requires considering cost, risk, and also the preference of the client. Now, let me share our timeline for this project. First, Una researched and gathered 4 travel options for us to consider. Next, Nada to compare the cost and prepare the budget analysis. After that, Yen looked into the possible risks and areas for improvement. Finally, Una, as the client, will make the final decision on which trip we should take, so that our project overview, purpose, and flow. With that, I will now pass to Una, our client, to introduce the 4 trip options.
Thanks, Nasha. As the client representing our group, I have researched 4 different trip packages for our 7-day, 6-night in Bali vacation. Each option has a different budget and also different experience. The first one is trip A, which is Bali Besti Bliss. This is the ultimate girls trip. We will stay in a private villa with a pool in Seminyak, go on a Nusa Penida snorkeling trip, enjoy a spa and flower bath photo shoot, trek Mount Batu for sunrise, have a beach club night, cafe hopping in Canggu, and also a shopping day in Ubud. The budget will cost us around 3,000 to 3,500 per person. Next is trip B, which is the Bougie Burnout. This one is luxury focused. We will stay at a 5-star resort, hire a private driver every day, go fine dining every night, shop at the high-end malls, and even do a private yacht sunset cruise. The budget will cost us around 6,000 to 7,000 per person. Next is trip C, which is Snooze in Paradise. This is like a slower and simple option. It includes staying at a standard hotel and relaxing by the pool most days. And we have 1 visit to Tanah Lot Temple, and we will be eating simple meals at the nearby warungs. The budget will be around 2,000 per person. The last one is trip D, which is the Backpacker Blues. This is the cheapest option. We will stay in a hostel, mostly eat instant food, travel by scooters, and skip most tours, just walking to nearby beaches. The budget will be around 1,200 per person. So these are the 4 choices I have researched. Each one offers a different style from budget-friendly to luxury. Now I will pass it to Nadatul, which is our financial analyst, to break down the numbers and help us to compare which trip makes the most sense financially.
Thanks, Una. Now, let's compare the cost of the 4 trips first. First is trip A, Bali Besti Bliss, about 3,900 per person. Trip B, Bougie Burnout, 6,000 to 7,000 per person, almost double trip A. And trip C, Snooze in Paradise, about 2,000 per person, cheaper but with very limited activities. And last is trip D, Backpacker Blues, and only 1,200 per person, the cheapest, but it sacrifices safety and fun. So, when we compare the trip B is too costly, and trip C is too plain, and trip D is too restrictive, and trip A, we got a balance in both cost and experience. So now let me break down the trip A's budget in detail per person. So for the flight from KL to Bali and to KL is 900 ringgit. Accommodation, villa with pool, 6 nights split by 4 is 1,200 ringgit. Tours and activities is 750 ringgit. And Nusa Penida day trip is for 250 ringgit. And Mount Batur sunrise trek is for 200 ringgit. Ubud Market Spa Cafe Tour is 300 ringgit. Meals and shopping 150 ringgit per day, and times by 7 equal to 1,050 ringgit. And the grand total is 3,900 per person. And for 4 people, that's around 15,600 altogether. This budget already includes flights, villa stay, activities, meals, and even shopping money. That's why Trip A gives the best value for money and not the cheapest, but the smartest choice. Now, Yin will explain the risks we should be aware of before finalizing these decisions.
Thanks, Nadatu. Even though Trip Air Bali Besti Bliss gives us the best value, there are still some risks we should prepare for. First, flight delays or cancellations are always a possibility, and they could impact our itinerary, especially if we are working with tight connections or time-sensitive plans. We should also be mindful of hidden costs, things like entrance fee, transport surcharges, or even small add-ons that weren't included in the original package. This can sneak up on us and push our budget beyond what we expected. Weather is another factor. If it rains or if conditions are poor, it might affect the outdoor plans like the Nusa Penida Island tour. We'll want to be flexible there. And finally, let's be honest, with shopping, cafes, and spontaneous treats, it's really easy to overspend, especially in the tourist area. Despite that, here are a few quick ways that we can do to improve. First, we need to set aside an extra 200 to 300 ringgit per person as a buffer for unexpected costs, just in case anything unplanned comes up. Next, we need to book tours and flights only through trusted providers to avoid scams or last-minute cancellations. Third, we need to have some indoor backup activities ready in case of bad weather so that our plans don't fall through. Lastly, we need to create a simple budget for meals and shopping to help everyone stay on track financially. That wraps up our recommendations. Now I'll hand it back to Una for the final call. Over to you, Una.
Thank you, Yin, and thank you to the whole team for your input. As the client representing our group, I have listened carefully to the analysis and reflections. After I have weighed out the options, I have decided that the best choice for us might be Trip A, which is the Bali Besti Bliss. Here is why. First of all, it fits within a realistic budget of about 3,900 per person. It includes a variety of experiences, including adventure, relaxation, shopping, and also bonding. It balances both cost and value, which could give us the full Bali experience without having to overspend.
We have managed this project step by step.
Considered 4 different trip options,
Compare the costs and prepare the budget.
And reflected on the risks and improvements,
And as a team,
we've decided
on Trip A,
which is Bali Besti Bliss.
From this project, we learned that financial decision making is not just about choosing the cheapest option, but about balancing costs with experience, safety, and long-term value. With these precautions, Trip Air remains the most enjoyable and financially reasonable choice for our Bali vacation.